Welcome to YOUCANIC. Today here in YOUCANIC we have a 2012 Hyundai Sonata with a 2.4 motor and the hybrid system, and we're going to go over how you would change the oil. So there's a couple things you're going to want to do, especially is because this is a hybrid system or the hybrid motor, you're going to want to make sure that the car will not start or move while you're working on it. To do that, you would make sure that the key is nowhere close to the vehicle, because that key, if it's in the vicinity or if it's inside and you hit the button or somebody jumps in and hits the button, the car will start and move and activate. And you wouldn't think that the car is running because it can run on that battery, and then all of a sudden it'll start up. So you want to make sure that that key is nowhere close. And the second thing you can do is you disconnect the negative battery cable from in the trunk that's on the 12-volt battery system, and so you would unhook that so that you have no chance of it starting and or moving. So once you've done that, then you would also raise the car up, or whether you've got it on jack stands or on ramps, and then you would chock the tires and set the e-brake so that your car is not going to move and be on some level surface if you can. So when the car is jacked up, we've got it supported with jack stands, and the tires are chocked, and we're ready to go under the car and do most of the work that we need to down there. The only thing up top here, this is just the dipstick here, and this is where we would fill the oil. And when we get to that, we'll put that in. But otherwise, we'll go down where we drain the oil, take the oil filter off, and put the new oil filter on, and we'll go to there. Alright, so down here we've got the oil pan, and we have the drain plug right here. Now this vehicle can take, it's 4.9 quarts, or so it's nearly 5 quarts. And so you got to make sure you have a drain pan that's going to hold all of the oil, so you don't need to stop in the middle. And if you do, then you would stop it in the middle or not. So this is a size 17. To undo this drain plug, and we'll just loosen it, and we'll remove it all the way to get the oil to flow out. And so while that's draining, I'm going to get a new copper washer to put on here. This is a copper crush washer. This one has definitely been on here for a long time, and it's worn out. And so they're quite cheap, so it doesn't hurt to replace that copper crush washer every time you change the oil. What it does is it smashes and crushes and seals. It makes a good seal here so that you don't have any oil leak. While this drains, I'm going to do that. Okay, so that's drained. Let's wipe it if there was any dirt there. Hopefully we can get that cleaned off. At least around the hole. And then be able to take the drain plug and put it back in. We've got our new copper crush washer on there to get a better seal. Take our 17. So we're just tightening that so that it smashes the washer a little bit and it's good and tight. So then we'll need to move forward here to be able to get to the oil filter. To make it easy, I'm just going to go ahead and remove this shield here. A lot of the things are missing, so it's pretty easy. This one's only got 3. Alright, there was some screws had to remove. With that stuff removed, you should be able to just Alright, so now we have better access to the oil filter. There was access through a hole in that shield, but I didn't like it. Okay. So, what I like to do is I take either a screwdriver, or I've got a poker tool here. And I like to poke a hole in the oil filter to be able to drain it, and that way when you go to spin this off, you don't get all the oil that comes down around the oil filter. So we'll give that a minute to drain out. Okay. Now we'll just use our filter wrench to be able to get that to come loose. There's various filter wrenches. That's just the one I have. Okay, so we're going to clean that with our paper towel here. The housing that holds the oil filter. And we're going to take the new oil filter, and I've put fresh oil on the gasket there. And you're going to get this until the oil gasket seals or hits the filter housing. And now you're going to do a 3/4 turn of the filter around or so, but we only tighten this by hand. Never use tools to tighten this. Okay? So we've got that. Now we can go up top and add our required amount of oil, and you would put the shield back on when you're done. So we're going to remove the cap here to be able to put our oil in. This is a 5W20. I'm going to use a funnel so that we can get it in there without dumping it all over the motor. Okay, so we've added the oil. We'll give it a little bit to drip down, and then you would check the oil car on a little bit of a level surface, make sure that it's full or that it's in the operating range. So we've cleaned off our dipstick. Now we'll reinsert, double check. You see that we are in the perfect operating range. And then the last thing you would do, just start and run the car, and double check that you don't have any leaks coming out from the oil filter or anything else. And then put your old cap back on, and you're good to go. So that's how you would change your oil on your 2012 2.4 motor Hyundai Sonata. Thanks for watching YOUCANIC, where you can be the